the software we had been using, it was fine to get us going, but we started to reach a point where it wasn't able to keep up with us. We have dumpsters in probably an hour and a half radius from our yard, and different zip codes, different types of clientele and pricing. And so it started to create a real hassle on our end to book stuff for the builders, and get everything priced. And the system, the technology is supposed to automate a lot of that stuff, and we just weren't finding that automation prior to switching to Docket. Another thing that is adjusting the route. So using DRS, you could set up the route for the driver, but if you had to change something, you had to call him. And with Docket, we can, from the dispatch page, myself or my brother, adjust the route, and it'll automatically pop up on that driver's route in the truck in real time. Some people want alerts every time we send an invoice and the truck's on the way. And some of our customers go through 12 dumpsters a week and they don't want the notification. So Docket allows us to do that. Right before we made the switch, we had to actually, for one particular customer, turn everyone's notifications off that was set as a contractor, because we couldn't do that. So that's been a game changer. So when we go to book either a recurring customer or a new customer, having pricing specific to their needs was a lot more difficult to do, and required a manual entry of that price every time. And when they're going through several dumpsters a week, and then we're having, we have 2 trucks running full time, sometimes a third, you start to create more work on the back end, and that's cutting into time to do invoicing and sales and all the other aspects of the business. So that was something that Docket allowed us to do with the pricing matrix and customizing that for each client. There was issues on the billing side and the invoicing where the customers, they were having trouble kind of understanding just the format. And then also we were getting a lot of missed online orders because our customers were telling us that prior to switching to Docket, our online ordering process was confusing. And our rental system is very simple. It's either a 10-day consumer rental or a 30-day contractor rental. And so when they would go to book online, they would just get overwhelmed and abandon the shopping cart. And maybe 1 out of 10 of those people would even call us and try and book it through the phone. So we were losing business there, and we knew it. The straw that broke the camel's back for the software was the dispatch system for the drivers. They were not able to understand the DRS system, and it seemed like every time they finally started to figure it out, they would update it and they would be back to square one. It was a major update, and it was never very intuitive. But even I, as a 27-year-old, couldn't figure out the dispatch system. What ended up happening was we would enter in dumpsters on a swap out. All the landfill info, the stuff we need for billing, was being put on a new dumpster instead of the one being picked up. And I thought I would show them how it's done, and I ended up making the same mistakes. So we thought there's got to be a better software, because if seasoned truck drivers can't figure out our software, it's not them, it's probably the software. And when it comes time to switch, Docket is very much on your side, and they go out of their way to take that burden on with you. So it really doesn't actually feel like a burden. And there is a huge weight lifted off our shoulders when Antoine was our particular guy helping us switch, and he got our login info for Docket. We sent him some spreadsheets we'd already had with customer information. We pulled it from our QuickBooks account, and I woke up the next morning, opened up Docket, and it was all in there. I fine-tuned some contact information where there was a builder who has multiple emails, but they were all in there, and I just had to assign them as a billing contact or a site contact. And we really just started doing that as they called to book their next swap out. and it made it super easy. We really didn't have to put in much extra time